you been dating at all during the quarantine?
Have I been dating at all during the quarantine? So the answer to that question is no, because I can't see anybody. I mean, I've dropped like a few texts here and there, but that I had gone on 2 dates with someone right before quarantine, and it was just long enough to know that like that is a person that exists, and like just short enough to mean like most of us getting to know each other would be online, and it just made it hard. Yeah.
Wait, so I want to really quick. I want to go back really quickly. You said something along the lines of, "I'm not dating right now because I can't see anybody." So are you saying that for you, virtually dating is not something that you're interested in?
So here's the point I was going to make a second ago. So if I were dating right now, this would be like my playground. Like, I am a romantic at heart. Also, I've seen so many movies. So, like ordering Postmates, delivering it to her house, and then sitting outside the window, like sharing a meal. Great. Like the through the glass, hands or notes, kiss it. Great. I could do all of those things, but I was just not in that position prior to going into quarantine. And that is really difficult for me to develop online. Also,
I gotcha.
I'm a writer and a good texter. And so if you don't have that back and forth and that banter, and that's real, you know what I mean? Like that's rare. That's few and far between. So like, I'm on 2 different dating apps. I've only ever gone on dates through one of them. I've been on dates with 2 different people through one of them.
You've been on dates with 2 different people pre-quarantine from these apps.
Pre-quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Here's the thing about me. You kind of have to, and maybe this is just my perception of me. My perception of myself is that you have to get to know me in real time, because there's a lot, right? If you know me from the reality stuff, how I present is very different. Sorry.
And what's the reality stuff, by the way?
So I was previously married, and I was on the real L Word seasons 2 and 3.
Haha.
So if you know me from that venue, then you in your mind, you're like, oh well, she's married. And if I'm not married, like you have a idea of me, and it's a very different version of me.
Totally.
So then to hit me up on an app and be like, yo baby, what's up? Which is never how I'd start a conversation. Or maybe I would. You don't know. There's so
we don't know because you're not virtually dating right now. So how would we know anyway, right?
It's just hard. Also, I'm a very direct person, and so I always say that I'm bad at flirting because it's not like a tease. Like, I mean it. I'm very direct and very forward, and sometimes that can just be very overwhelming, especially if you don't know. Like, so
totally.
I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I feel you. I think that some people like the direct approach, virtually dating and the virtual dating game, and some people are a little turned off by it. And I feel like we are totally missing a ton not meeting in person, right? Like,
yes.
Like, it's so hard to not see people. I'm an extreme extrovert, so I get what you're saying. Like, and a lot of people I've coached, like, even before this, were like, I like to meet people in real life. So I totally feel you on this. So does this mean, let's go back. So does this mean that during this last month and a half, that other than a few texts, you've just been chilling at home mostly?
Yeah. So I've gotten to know myself single, which is not something I
That's
could
great.
say. Yeah, which is not something I could have said before. Like, prior to January, I had not lived alone as an adult. Because I went from having like roommates to meeting my ex-wife, and then we were together for a long time, and so
wow,
I went from being always around someone to nobody.
Good. No, okay, let's just pause for a second. We both had the gift of gab, by the way,
I
both of
know.
us. That's amazing. I think every person should live alone at some point in their life if they've never done it. I'm an only child. I've lived alone in Los Angeles for 15 years alone, no roommates. And I tell you, it's a glorious experience. You miss people sometimes, but I think everyone should experience that solo feeling, right?
Yeah. Well, this is a crash
Great.
course in it because this is like solo.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
no, this
like
is extreme, an
extreme.
extreme crash course.
So I feel like I'm really making up for lost time because like this is like alone. But
So,
so getting to know myself single, I like myself single a
yay,
lot,
Kacy.
a lot. I'm also because we're like with the world's ending, I have nothing to lose. I'm able to be like all parts of myself, and I'm starting to realize like, oh, I have patterns. There are
Yeah.
things about myself that I like put to the side because whoever's standing in front of me, I mirror that interest because
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in so many things. So I'm learning a lot. Although I will say, because I am a romantic, it would be so fun to go on a date in quarantine. Like, and you, because like when I see obstacles, I mean, look, I play around in kink. I enjoy
Tell
obstacles.
us everything.
Yeah, so I like BDSM. I love rules. I love boundaries and obstacles and challenges and delayed gratification. Delayed gratification, I'm huge on delayed gratification.
Mm-hmm.
Like just really,
Yeah.
really extending that out. I'm also a top. So for me, until you say go, I'll stand that close.
Is everyone listening out there? Is everybody listening? Okay, go on, please.
Also, I've noticed I've gotten real honest in my in my quarantine.
But
So
real quick, that's what, just really quickly. See, there's not like we're almost at the 15-minute maximum.
I know,
By the
I'm
way,
sorry.
everyone, I'm trying to make these things 15 minutes long, so because we all have short attention spans. But see, then we have a conversation like Kacy and I, and it's like, oh boy, like this is not enough time because this is super. We're learning a lot. We're learning a lot of things. No, this is great. So I want to say real quick, I think it's really great that you are direct and honest about what you want. So many people, and I'm sure you've experienced this, have no idea what they want and haven't done the internal work to figure out what they want or what they do not want. And so I
Mm-hmm.
think it's amazing you've had this time, this solo time to figure all these things out. This is amazing.
I agree. I agree because I would have been one of those people. I actually that's not true. I would have been a different. I would have known exactly what I would have wanted, but I would have been too afraid to ask for it, and for certain too afraid to demand it or
Yeah.
leave because of it. And so now I'm like, well, everybody on the internet has heard me say this now, and I have restraints under my bed, just manifesting someone to put them in. And I'm like, yeah, that's like an aspect of me that I need to just embrace.
Manifestation. I love
Yeah.
it. You know, under the bed, under the pillow,
Mm-hmm.
however it needs to come to us. And well,
Or
that brings us to the
yes.
next part I want to say real quick. You know, I mean, um, I'm gonna skip ahead real quick. So, what are you looking forward to post quarantine? It doesn't necessarily have to be
Ugh.
about the goodies hiding in various parts of your bedroom, but
Human
it
touch.
could be.
Human touch. I love sitting across from somebody and just like this direct eye contact. I love that. My favorite thing
Oh,
about a really, really good date is when you have that direct eye contact and then there's that touch. And it's small and it's not sexual and it's just like a touch on the hand or a touch on the shoulder and it just like it validates something like energy, an energy exchange. I miss that so much.
totally. No, I get it. I mean, there's something we've learned in this quarantine, which I think a lot of us knew. A lot of us who were touch based or very
Mhm.
energy based already knew the importance of being in person, right? But this quarantine has really like magnified the importance of, you
Yeah.
know, interconnectivity in real life, right? And feeling somebody and smelling somebody and
Yeah.
seeing an energy in the whole thing. I fully feel you, you know. I mean, I actually want to give you credit because I think that Well, can I ask a semi-personal question? It's not, you revealed way more personal things.
Yeah.
Were you dating a lot pre-quarantine? Not the person you met right before, but like say in the like the months leading up to, were you dating a lot or no?
No, I was actually ending I guess a relationship of sorts, you could call it.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I was just starting to dip my toe in. Yeah.
Uh,
But also, I think maybe for my benefit, because the person that everybody is going to get now out of, like, once the doors open and this version of me can walk out.
but
Mhm.
what are you missing during this quarantine in terms of dating and relationships? During this quarantine in terms of dating and relationships?
I mean, I hate to you say like better because it puts a value judgment on it, but like, you know, I know a lot about myself and I know what I can do and what I can bring. I know how romantic I am and creative I am. I know how much I appreciate love. I know for sure what I'm looking for and I know damn sure what I'm not looking for. And I have a
Yes.
very, very good sense of like those things.
You got a
So
bunch of hearts. You got a bunch of hearts on
I
that
got a
one.
bunch of, oh,
Yeah,
good.
that was
Well,
great.
thanks. Appreciate it. You can grab them.
No, but
They go
it's
here.
yay.
They go
But no,
right
I
here.
mean, exactly. But no, I mean, that's a really big thing. I don't want to minimize what you just said. That's a really big deal, to know what you want, know your worth, know what you don't want, especially. Like it's so, so important. What really quick, because I do want to, we're at 15 minutes, but I don't want to like just be like, okay, that's it. What are you missing? We kind of touched a little bit on it, but
Mm-hmm.
what are you missing during this quarantine in terms of dating and relationships?
I mean, aside from like physical touch,
Yeah.
I really, so I like that minute right before on a date, right before you're gonna see her or him or them for the first time. Like
Oh.
that day and that date, when you're just showing up to that date, and you're like, oh, I wonder, like, where should I stand? Where should I be looking? Like, just like that little buzz of and it. Oh, I always get it, no matter how long I've been with somebody. There's always that moment of like, I wonder what this one's gonna be. Yeah, like just I miss that feeling so much.
um so really we're wrapping it up, but so things are starting to open up slowly, right? Like this quarantine seems to be sort of starting to lift, which I have mixed feelings about. But
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like you're gonna like slowly be getting out there soon, or are you still, is it still too early for you?
Well, here's the conundrum. So I have MS, right? Which is a long-term disease, immunocompromised, etc. So without a vaccine or a test or especially an antibody test, I don't know. Like I'm taking a really, really big risk. So like I could be in a position where everybody else is able to kind of like go out into the world, and I'm
Right.
like still locked inside.
No, and that's
Um,
so real. I have family members that have immunocompromised, I don't want to say illnesses, but are struggling with things around the immune system, and that is very real. And I feel like the I don't want to get too deep into people should calm down out there, but I mean, really though, it does affect all of us, and dating is real. I mean, one of the things really quick that Planned Parenthood, by the way, shout out to them. They've been posting some amazing, amazing, amazing resources during COVID-19 around can you get it from kissing? Yes, you can. Can you get it from vaginal things, oral things and intercourse things? They say no, but again, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, then they say anal things, you can't get it from anal sex either. That's what Planned Parenthood says. I am not a doctor, but it's still scary. I still feel like there's so many unknowns still, right? And it's like,
yeah.
not to mention if you can get it from kissing. I mean, I feel like kissing is such a big deal, right? And it's like, oh man, if you meet someone you like them and then you can't kiss them, it's like, oh man.
It's tough. I mean, it's going to be very difficult on a first date. Be like, I can't kiss you, but I could for sure perform oral sex because I'm not going to give you anything. Like,
I mean, no,
what
but
an
right?
opening line.
How is this going to look? How is this going to work?
I
That's
mean,
another reason why I wanted to do this. It's like, You know, I feel like maybe these are conversations we would be having at a bar over beers with our friends, but since we're not at bars with our friends,
Right.
maybe we should be talking about this stuff before